Hi, my name is Darrell Gurney, and I have been coaching executives and MBAs for years on how to create connections that open doors. Now, as an MBA and a future executive, you don't want to go scrounging the front door paths of looking for openings or applying for jobs like everyone else. You want to start to think differently and to build your career path out of connections and relationships. Now, in the old days, they used to call it the good old boy network. Well, today things aren't as sexist, and it's not just about boys or being old. What it is about today, though, is thinking and doing things different. Now, you've heard that it's not what you know, but who you know. Well, here I want to give you the how-tos to the who's. Now, these are the same principles I've used for years to assist executives at all levels, including new graduates, to form career-enhancing relationships that get them into the back door of opportunities that those knocking on the front door would never hear about. And these methods are supported by the best business minds and career professionals out there who have endorsed my books and teachings. So here are 10 executive keys to make connections that open doors. The best way to get a job is don't be looking for one. Because yes, you want to meet people, lots of people, but you want to meet them out of a position of confidence and assurance. You ever notice how when you're more relaxed and easygoing, things tend to come to you faster? So you want to forget your need and find a reason for meeting people other than that need. Which brings us to executive key number 2. An ounce of research is worth a pound of job search. Did you work on any case studies in your coursework that had you out researching information from others? Perhaps you had to go out and speak to business people to get real-world input on a project. If not, let me tell you that people tend to open up to support others doing research projects. And they feel especially morally obligated to do so for students, because there's this natural caring people have to help people who are expanding their careers. So that's what you want to do. Create a research project that has you out talking to people about things other than your need for a job. Now, it would be smart to start this practice as soon as you begin your MBA program, because that'll give you a full year or two to be out talking to people left and right. Now, it might be just one research project that you're working on, or it could be different projects based on what comes up in your classes. But the point is, you want to use research as a basis to get in front of people of influence and power. Now, if you're not basing your research on a school project of some type, what could you build a research project around? Well, what are you genuinely interested in? You know, it's kind of hard to get it up to go out and ask a lot of questions about something you're not interested in just to get a job. But when you're coming from your really true passionate interests, people smell it and they respond. Now, you've put a lot of time and energy into obtaining your MBA. How do you want to use it? What industry do you find compelling? Or what's at the cutting edge of some area that really fascinates you? Hey, what if career or money didn't even matter? What would you naturally want to engage in or inquire into? Answering these questions will get you in touch with your true interests. Then you just want to come up with 20 questions based on that interest. You can never have too much information. And the higher the altitude, the better. Now, as part of your research in conducting your backdoor or stealth campaign, you want to reach at least 2 levels higher than your potential entry role. Now, why is that? Because it's the people at that level that have the clout and the deeper information to help you best. They can see further down the road. They have more of a sense of the trends that the industry and even their particular company are experiencing. And hey, if they want to pass you on to others that can help you in your research, it's way easier to get passed down than it is to get passed up. A friend in need, repulsion doth breed. So, the focus of this process is on gaining information. Lots of information. So you not only have more information to make decisions about your future, but you also get in front of top decision makers so that they know your name and your face. Forget about needing a job. Remember, neediness is not attractive. Focus on information and relationships, and you'll find that opportunities actually take care of themselves. People will let their guard down when they feel like they're simply assisting you in your research. And when you're talking to them and engaging with them about something they're truly passionate about as well, you're singing their song, and so they bond with you. And finally, if they do offer you information and advice, they subconsciously get invested in your success. They'll actually look forward to you following up with them. Call me expert and I'll open my door. Funny thing about people is they have egos. And when you learn how to feed the ego correctly, you can have corporate leaders eating out of your hands. Now, it's best to approach these players in a way that has them feeling like they are the only person on the planet that has the information you seek. So research them thoroughly beforehand and then pump up their ego a bit. Talk about their careers or the differences they've made where they work or even in the industry as a whole, and how their background makes them the perfect person for you to connect with. A spoonful of ego massage helps the relationship go down. So, approach them like a rock star, full of authentic admiration, and their doors will open to you. And it's best to do this in a carefully constructed approach letter. Eyes to eyes gets you the prize. Now, social media is a gorgeous thing, and it's a wonderful tool in your arsenal of making connections. However, you want connections that open doors, and doors occur in the physical world, not the electronic world. So you want to take all those cyber connections and turn those into face-to-face meetings. That's where magic occurs, because there's actual chemical reactions and bonding principles that take place when two bodies come together. So when you approach your targeted research subjects, you want to get in front of them. Don't try to conduct your research over the phone or through the web. Bring high touch to the high tech and find ways to get into their physical presence, building relationship equity one meeting at a time. Now, once you've set the meeting, you want to plan your meeting strategy. And though you'll have a bunch of questions upon which your research is based, there is one ultimate subject that your target will want to talk about and love talking about the most: themselves. This is another human psychology element to this process. Realize that most people are never listened to deeply, nor ever truly appreciated for their choices or their personal paths. So you want to become the fascinated interviewer by starting out with a question about them. What got you into this industry? How did you arrive in this position of influence? What are the choices you made that got you here? A basic tenet to always remember is be interested rather than interesting. When you get people talking about themselves, a couple subconscious things occur. First, they start to subconsciously think, hey, you're pretty smart, even if they know nothing about you. Hey, you're smart enough to listen to them. And second, they start developing a subconscious sense of beholden, which means, you've done so much for me, what can I do for you? And that's exactly the relationship equity you want to start building with people over time, which keeps them thinking about you. Top of mind is easy to find. Now, you want to go way beyond the traditional thank you and follow-up letter after the meeting, though that's a start. You want these people operating like antenna for you as you continue to pursue your MBA, as well as when you're done and you're ready to go to work. So you want to remain top of mind with all these people that you've met. And a great way to do that is through a holiday letter. You know how you get those cards during the holidays and a letter falls out that tells you everything that's gone on in that person's life over the last year? Well, you want to send out update emails just like that every 30 to 60 days while you're in your program to remind them of you, the research you're engaged in, what you're finding out, and maybe how you've utilized the advice they gave you. That's right, every 30 to 60 days, because you want to stay top of mind. Now, when you make yourself part of their ongoing consciousness, then when opportunities, news, or information come across their desk, they're going to naturally think of you and notify you. Treat yourself like a business to stay in business. Now that you've invested so much in your MBA, realize that your career is a business. Treat it like one. Never stop this process of building relationships and connections, because you never know where they're going to pay off. Now, when you get your next job, fight the urge to submerge. Sure, you'll want to get lazy about keeping your career tribe members updated about what you're up to, but do it nonetheless. At least every 90 days, send out an update email informing your connections of what you're up to. Try to meet with them personally every now and then as well. Now, this is advisable on 2 counts. First, if you're ever suddenly laid off, then you already have your network alive and in place rather than trying to recreate it all over again. Second, there may be even better opportunities that'll come up out there for you, but you'll only hear about them if you stay connected. Always reserve 5 to 10% of yourself to manage your own business, which is your career, by staying abreast of all the investment opportunities that can come your way. And you do that best by keeping your network updated, alive, growing, and vibrant.